This is Stooge Club! Welcome back to Stooge Club. I am your host, the Stooge. It's another toy unboxing episode. If you read the title, you know what it is. Sting, Dean Ambrose, and the Revival Battle Pack. These are the WWE Mattel Basics. But before we get to that, how do we always do it? Geeks, gamers, sweaties that still live at home in their mom's basements, toy collectors, wrestling fans. Strap yourselves in, because here we go. So I've only kind of recently figured out what the point of the basics were. I always looked at them and was like, they look a little strange. They're supposed to be animated. I get that now. They're supposed to be the animated version of those characters, rather than the elites of the more realistic, great articulation, kind of cool looking ones. These are more animated. So you can see, hopefully, the look on Dean's face there, you'll be able to see it in a second. Very basic boxes. That's pretty much all there is to them. So let's pull Dino out here and have a look. Dino, who this week had his last WWE match on Raw. For the time being. With Bobo Lashley. There we go. Nice and easy to get out. Why aren't all toys packaged like that? None of those little twisties, none of those little annoyees. Just a bubble that fits the toy. Alright, so let's have a look at what we got here. Very basic. Oof. Okay, it's not too bad. Alright, so as far as the articulation goes, of course, in the basic models you're going to have much, much, much simpler articulation than you do in the elites. So Dean's head does go up and down a little bit. Really no left and right movement, but up and down a touch. Arms up and do the full 360 turny thing. You do have an elbow joint, just a single elbow joint. You do have a wrist joint, but it looks like a wrist joint, but it doesn't move. It looks like it's been painted shut on both sides, so not very helpful. There's just a waist twist that you can make him face the wrong way around. Legs, just do that to about there. Basic knee, again, very basic, just slidey knee. No ankle or anything like that. But the cool thing about these figures is they stand up really well. They stand up really well. And if you have a look at the actual design itself, hopefully you can see that, the cheeky smirk on his face, the Ambrose Dean Unstable Ambrose shirt, his Dean Ambrose symbol on the back. His white gloves, he looks like Dean Ambrose. Can't say he doesn't. Very cheeky animated look on his face. I'm kind of liking this figure. I'm kind of liking it. I think it's pretty cool. For a basic, it looks pretty cool. Some basics look terrible. He looks pretty good. Now, what got me off on the basics kick was Sting. Being a long time WCW fan, TNA fan, you show me a Sting figure, I'll show you some cash. So again, very basic. There was a lot more figures in this line, clearly. I've seen the Charlotte, the first time in the line Charlotte, it wasn't good. The Undertaker from this line wasn't great either. The Kane wasn't great. I haven't seen the others, so can't judge them. But this Sting is actually pretty decent. So let's get him out and have a look-sees. Come on, Sting. It's time to breathe. Come on, Steve. Don't be difficult. Again, love the packaging. Simple, just bubble packaging. None of those twisties, none of those tie things. I'll throw these down here for now. None of that stuff that gets in the way of getting a figure out of the box. So anything different? Ooh, Sting has ankles. But yeah, everything. Oh, and he's got biceps. Does Dean have biceps? Dean doesn't have biceps. So obviously later on in the line of basics, they started adding a little bit more to them. Still, let's have a look at the nice paintwork on the figure. Actually, I have to admit the mask does look really good. Hopefully, you guys are catching this. Woo! The costume is classic black and white Sting with the scorpions running down the side as they should be. So the only major difference, so that's a ratchet joint, but that's not. What? Okay, that's weird. One arm has a ratchet joint, one arm doesn't. So the only difference between this and the Dean is the fact that Sting has a bicep joint. It's very stiff, but you can see, you can move his arm at the bicep a little bit. And he also has the tiniest little bit of ankle back and forth. So that's pretty good for postability. Oh, there you go. That's pretty cool. Okay, so they've added in a bunch more articulation on these. Yeah, the hands move freely. I like this. I like this. For a basic figure, this is actually pretty decent. The hair looks fantastic, I have to admit. Hair on toys usually looks terrible. They've done a great job with Sting. Whoever designed this clearly was a huge Sting fan. Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed with this figure. That's pretty cool. All right, and lastly, on our current basic kick, we've got the Revival Battle Pack. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, formerly the tag team champions. These are, again, very simple. I've also got the Miz and Maurice one. We're going to be opening that up at some point, but we're saving that for the knockout. So yeah, again, these are going to be basic, very simple figures, but I really, 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 really love the look on Scott Dawson's face, which you'll be able to see a little bit better in a second. So let's pop these guys out. Get rid of this. Okay, let's start with Wilder here. So something I noticed straight away is they've got his tattoos on his rib cage, his tattoo on his back. That's great little detail. That is, especially for a basic, that's a really cool little detail. The trunks are right. That's awesome. No flips, just fists. Same head, it can only just basically move up and down a little bit. Biceps are gone. You've got foot turn and ankle, but no bicep. Okay, that's an interesting choice. Basic knees, basic hip, basic arms. Okay, both the same joints this time. And everything else is the same. So yeah, you've got your ankle and foot from the Sting, but no bicep like the Dean Ambrose. Okay, that's weird. It's interesting. Maybe the Sting came after this. Maybe this is a step in between, as they were deciding what to do with the basics. One thing I would suggest is a little bit of head tone would be nice. But other than that, I think this is a pretty cool looking figure, especially the little detail of having his actual tattoos on his rib cage and his back. That's really cool. That's really cool, especially for a basic figure. The one I've been waiting for, the one I've been waiting to unbox, Scott Dawson. Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on his face. He looks awesome. Awesome. Like, seriously. That little dangry look that he's got. Again, same trunks. Here we've got the knee pad detail there, which is so rad. The fact that they went to the effort of putting that on his knee pad. And I think because he didn't have tattoos and stuff, he got a little bit more face. Same deal, ankle and foot, but no bicep. And everything else is the same, no head, just goes up and down a little bit. Okay, I like this. This is my favourite basic figure. This is really good. So let's get these guys here. And we got the Stinger and a lunatic fringe. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which one of these four is your favourite? Do you own any of these guys? What do you think of the Mattel Basic line? Honestly, up until recently, wasn't a fan, and now I'm kind of getting into it. I kind of like the animated style that they've put into it and how different it is from the Elite line. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Until next time, I've been your host, Stooge, and don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution. This is Stooge Club!